The most dangerous kind of power is the one nobody can trace. You walk in, they get quiet. You speak, they agree without thinking. Not because they fear you openly, but because something about your being there bends them. That is not luck. That is on purpose. Machiavelli knew the secret. Aura is the unseen weapon of rulers. Today you will learn how to build yours. Power does not always come from action. Sometimes it comes from stillness that feels like a storm. Machiavelli mastered the art of controlling people by controlling how they felt in his presence. That pressure in the room, that weight in the air, that is aura. And if you build it right, people follow, hesitate, obey without ever knowing why. What if your presence alone could make people second-guess their confidence? What if your silence could strip them of control? Machiavelli understood one hard truth. The man who controls the atmosphere controls the outcome. If you want to stop being ignored and start being obeyed, do not raise your voice. Raise your presence. The man who does not flinch scares everyone else. Machiavelli knew that aura is built in how you do not react, in how your calmness scares, how your stillness wins. When you stop trying to impress and start mastering your energy, you become what they cannot shake off. Today I will show you how to become that man. Niccolò Machiavelli once wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." Those words were not poetic. They were like a knife, a warning to never show your core, because the moment they know you, they can predict you. And if they can predict you, they can control you. Your aura is not built on truth. It is built on the illusion of truth, carefully made and kept strong. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be misread, misunderstood, and still obeyed. The common man wants connection. He wants to be known, liked, hugged. But a Machiavelli type sees the trap. Being visible is being weak. Being clear is a problem. What they see of you must be a shadow, not a mirror. If they can read your face, they can prepare. If they can predict your actions, they can stop you. That is how kings fall and regular people win. Not by strength, but by knowing what is coming. You will never let them know what is coming. Mystery is your armor. You do not owe them clear answers. You owe effect. Speak in pieces. Leave your sentences half-built. Make your thoughts look like riddles. Let them finish them for you. They will fill in the gaps with their own fears. And here is the twist. The version of you they invent will always be more powerful than the version you could ever explain. You do not need to be trusted. You need to be unreadable. Trust is a leash. Mystery is a weapon. Let them guess. Let them whisper. Let them argue about what you meant. While they are busy figuring you out, they have already given in to your presence. Never fix their wrong ideas. If they think you are kind, let them. If they think you are cruel, let them. If they think you do not care, smile, then disappear. Because the moment they ask, what is he really thinking? You have already won. Change your rhythm often. Speak boldly one day, vanish the next. Be warm for a moment, then cold for a week. Let them feel like they almost figured you out, then become someone else entirely. Machiavelli knew that rulers should not be known. They should be imagined. You do not want to live in their memory. You want to live in their uncertainty. Control what they think by giving them nothing clear to hold on to. Because when they cannot define you, they cannot dismiss you. They cannot box you in. They cannot fight what they cannot see. Pull back on purpose. Disappear when expected. Show up when least convenient. Shift your tone, your look, your energy, not because you are lost, but because you are always becoming. Being fluid is being in charge. Being predictable is death. And when they confront you, when they demand clear answers, say nothing or say something so unclear it sounds like truth, but solves nothing. Speak like fog, there but untouchable. Say you already know the answer. Or what makes you think I did not plan this? These lines create doubt. They plant fear. They return power to you. Even your silence must speak. Let your lack of explanation haunt them. Let your unpredictability shape their behavior. They will begin to change to match your mood. They will learn to move around your presence. They will guess your reactions even when you offer none. This is how aura becomes control. When people begin changing themselves to match what they think you expect. Never be who they think you are. Never finish the story they start. Always change chapters before they are done reading the last. Aura dies when you repeat. So reinvent, change, Get rid of old versions of yourself like kings get rid of threats quickly, quietly, and without regret. You are not a person in their eyes. You are a possibility, a question, an atmosphere, a fear they cannot shake. That is power, because the ones who cannot be read cannot be fought. Aura begins before a single word is spoken, before your mouth opens, before your eyes make contact. It begins with silence, with stillness, with the pause that enters a room when you do, and makes everyone else forget what they were just talking about. In a world that performs, you must be felt, not seen, not heard. Felt. Niccolò Machiavelli never begged for attention. He built it on purpose. He understood that true power starts with what people think. Most people mistake volume for power, but the ones who truly win, they speak less and command more. Presence is not about what you say. It is about what your existence does to other people. It is in the mind, a game of tension and suggestion. A presence so strong it bends the mood of the room before you say a single word. You must subtract, not add. Most people walk into a room and try to fill it with noise, with jokes, with energy. They want to be liked. They want approval, but approval is for the weak. You do not want approval. You want tension. You want silence when you arrive. You want them to glance, then glance again. You want their rhythm disturbed, their instincts triggered. The trick, stillness. Stillness is unsettling. Most people fidget, twitch, overshare, overdo things. But you sit still. You speak slowly. You move as if the world can wait. You take up space like someone who owns time. That is power. It begins with your walk. Not rushed, not energetic on purpose. Every step says, I am not in a hurry because I am not chasing anything. You do not chase, you attract. You do not react, you observe. Your posture is straight, not stiff, calm. Your hands do not move unless needed. Your head does not dart around. You are not searching for attention. You are the attention. Dress like your presence is worth something. Not loud, not flashy, sharp, thought out. Every piece you wear should say, this person does not need to prove anything. You are not competing with the loud. You are disarming them by not trying. Most people wear brands to be seen. You wear silence to be remembered. And when you finally do speak, make it slow, controlled. No filler words, no nervous laughter. Speak like someone who weighs their words because each word costs something. Do not rush to answer. Let silence do the work. The longer your pause, the more weight your answer carries. Let them feel the gap before your voice enters. It creates waiting, suspense, fear even. That is aura. Do not smile by default. Default smiles signal weakness, a plea for acceptance. Your face should rest in calm authority. Not aggressive, not unfriendly, just unreadable. Because unreadable people are unforgettable. And here is the secret Machiavelli knew. When people cannot read you, they think about you constantly. Their minds fill in the blanks. They build stories. They create myth. And the myth becomes more powerful than truth ever could. When you walk into a room, do not try to connect. Let them come to you. If you try to join their rhythm, you have already given in. No use at the rhythm. Make them change their energy to yours. You are not cold. You are calm. You are not distant. You are dangerous. Your presence should disturb something deep in them. Not fear exactly, but uncertainty, curiosity, respect that borders on worry. They should not know whether they want your approval or your protection. They should only know that you matter. And above all, be consistent. Aura is not a show you put on for moments. It is an atmosphere you live inside. It is the weight of who you are, even when nobody is watching. Because especially when nobody is watching, that is when your discipline is made. Never try to be interesting. Be controlled. Be sharp. Be exact. Because Machiavelli presence is not about being seen all the time. It is about being remembered all the time. So stop trying to be everywhere. Be rare. Be slow. Be still. And watch how the world starts to move around you. Power that is easy to access is power that is easy to ignore. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. Value is an illusion, and illusions must be built. If you are always there, always available, always agreeable, You become common, and being common is the graveyard of power. Let fools offer themselves to the world. Let the desperate advertise their emotions, their time, their presence. You are not one of them. You are rare and you must act like it. The powerful never chase. They attract. They are not reached. They are looked for. You must become expensive. Not in money, in energy. Talking with you should feel like a gift earned, not a casual meetup. Your attention must feel expensive because that is what makes people want it. You do not smile for free. You do not offer your opinion easily. You do not stay in places too long. You arrive when you choose and disappear without warning. The mystery of your presence is worth more than the noise of their existence. Stop replying instantly. Stop showing up everywhere. Stop making yourself a predictable part of anyone's life. Being predictable makes comfort, and comfort destroys respect. You want to be loved. Let them miss you. You want to be respected. Let them feel your absence. The more they see you, the less they feel you. So pull back on purpose, casually, without mercy, not with hate, with not caring, with precision. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler should aim to be feared more than loved. But the true genius lies in being talked about more than being seen, in becoming the silent topic of conversation. The ghost that runs the room when not there. That is the aura of the rare. They should wonder, where is he? Why does he not speak more? Why does he not look at me the way others do? These questions are not problems. They are the seeds of obsession, and you must feed them subtly. Show interest briefly, then pull back. Compliment once, then turn cold. Give them presents, then take it away. Not to be cruel, but to train them. To teach them that your attention is not a currency thrown to beggars. It is a kingdom. An entry must be earned. The moment you become too easy to reach, you become too easy to dismiss. Your energy must feel like a limited resource, a thing not everyone gets. A room with velvet ropes, a name spoken with caution. You are not the celebration. You are the standard, the measure, the invisible pressure that makes people rise or shrink. Even in love, in friendship, in business, your being rare will decide your status. You do not call often, you do not check in, you do not overshare, you do not explain your silence. That silence is the message. People want what they cannot predict, what they cannot hold, what disappears too quickly to define. That must be you. Do not mistake this for pride. Pride demands attention, but aura takes it away. You do not need applause. You need silence when you enter a room. You do not need validation. You need conversation to pause in your presence. This is not self-love. This is winning. In the mind planned without apology, they must work for you. And when they think they have earned a piece of you, vanish again. Not to punish, but to remind them. You are not a gift to be owned. You are a force to be chased. Your time is not free. Your eyes are not free. Your opinion is not free. Everything about you must feel earned. And once it is earned, it must never be taken for granted. That is how you make power expensive. Not by screaming, not by demanding, but by being the rarest presence in every room. And the absence they cannot stop noticing. Aura is not personal, it is environmental. Most people walk into a room and join it. They adapt to the temperature, the tone, the rhythm already there. But Machiavelli presence is the opposite. You do not adapt, you infect. You do not just exist in a room, you control it when you enter. You are not reacting to the energy. You are reshaping it subtly, quietly, completely. Others laugh loudly, you do not. Others panic, you stay still. Others try to command attention. You never even ask for it, yet it bends to you. Why? Because aura is like the air. It is not about what you say. It is what the air does when you appear. You must be calm when others fall apart. You must be silent when others ramble. You must look like you know something they do not because you do. Control is never loud. Machiavelli understood the mind game of power better than any war general. He knew that people naturally give in to the one who appears unshaken. If you can remain calm when chaos breaks out, they will start looking to you for direction. Even if you give none, your greatest weapon in any room is stillness. It is unnatural. It makes people uncomfortable. They begin putting meaning onto your silence, onto your still eyes, your steady posture. They wonder, is he judging, calculating, planning? They will invent threats. They will give you power just to make sense of how unmoved you are. Use that. Do not compete for the spotlight. The sun does not explain itself to candles. Let them burn themselves out trying to be heard. You will remain unaffected, unimpressed, absolute. You must treat the room like a battlefield. And on this battlefield, your weapon is not your voice. It is emotional control. Mood is winning. If they feel nervous, confused, overexcited, and you stay uncaring, you win. Even your body language must serve your plan. Sit as if you have already won the conversation. Do not flinch when challenged. Do not nod too often. Do not lean in like a beggar for connection. Let them lean into you. Let your eyes scan the room like you are measuring it, not seeking approval, not searching for friends, but studying like a ruler calculating the weaknesses in his court. Speak when necessary, and when you do, speak like someone who assumes his words will change the temperature of the room. Because if your presence has weight, your voice becomes command. Even the way you end conversations matters. Never linger. End with purpose, as if your time is too valuable to waste. Stand like someone others wait for, not someone who waits to be heard. And if someone attempts to win the room with ego, humor, or status, do not fight them. Let them overexpose themselves. Let them brag. Let them show their need for validation. And then say something simple, quiet, cutting, and fall back into silence. That silence will echo louder than their entire show. You do not need to match the energy in the room. You set it. You decide whether it feels tense, cold, close, or dangerous. This is the highest form of social control, environmental leadership without saying so. They should not know why the air feels heavier when you are there. They should not know why they sit straighter, talk slower, hesitate before speaking. They just will. That is aura. And Machiavelli would tell you this: he who shapes the atmosphere shapes the decisions made within it. People do not follow reason. They follow energy. They obey the one who feels like he has already won. And the one who has already won does not speak to prove it. He just exists quietly, unshaken like gravity. So do not try to be the center of attention. Be the one who owns the energy that surrounds it. When people enter your space, let them feel the difference. Let them adjust to you, your pace, your tone, your silence. You are not another voice in the chaos. You are the tension they did not expect, the stillness they cannot ignore. That is how you bend the room to your will without lifting a single finger. The most powerful ruler is the one you never see giving orders, but you still follow. True Machiavelli aura is not acting. It is not loud, not bragging. It does not demand obedience. It invites it. It seeps into the mind, twists what people think, rewrites the rules of the room until people give in, without knowing they are bending to your will. That is the final form of aura. Silent control. You do not win by force. You win by presence, by expectation, by invisible gravity. Like a king whose crown is never seen, only felt. The world teaches people to command with words, to show power with noise. But noise is resistance. Noise is struggle. The higher game is to control without effort, to change without command, to win without appearing to do so. And it begins by planting a single idea. You are the one they must align with. You never beg. You never plead. You never convince. Instead, you become the standard they measure themselves to, the tone they copy, the pace they follow, the approval they quietly chase. Let your actions be few but clear. Let your gaze be rare but sharp. Let your attention feel like a spotlight from the heavens, warming when it is on them, freezing when it is not. People follow power because it feels like it has to happen. You must become like it has to happen. Even when you are silent, your preferences should echo. Even when you are gone, your presence must shape decisions. They should hesitate and ask themselves, what would he think? Not because you told them, but because your energy still lingers in the room. Be the ghost ruler of every social group you enter, not the face of control, the spirit of it. To do this, you must kill the need for validation completely. You do not rise when they praise you. You do not flinch when they criticize you. You are beyond emotion, beyond the petty friction of approval. You act with such internal certainty that others question their own thoughts just standing next to you. The highest form of power is when people think it was their idea. So never push, only pull. Lead through questions, through silence, through reactions so small they become mirrors for the other person's conscience. Make people unsure of what you want, but desperate to provide it. Not because you said so, but because something in your calm, unreadable presence made them want to obey. And when they displease you, you do not rage. You do not explain. You simply pull back. Cold, clean, final, and they will feel the loss like a blade fell without warning. Because once someone has felt your aura, your absence becomes punishment enough. That is the power of the silent controller. You do not impose laws. You are the law. People will adjust to your energy like planets to a sun, and when they forget your value, you vanish. Let them choke in the vacuum you leave behind. When they beg for your return, you will know you never had to speak to rule them. You ruled them the moment they changed for you without knowing why. That is Machiavelli aura. Not a show, a presence, not charm, command, not control by force, but control through silence so complete they call it respect. Let the others chase applause, you, the voice they never heard but always followed. And if you want more hard truths like this, then do not just watch, subscribe, and like my video.